question always
All right.
remains.
Let's start with saying, welcome back, Diriyah.
Welcome back.
It's good to have you back. For people who've been waiting for our episode, like, yo, where's the Biennale episode? Well, Diriyah took a vacation. We're like, you know what? She deserves it. Treat yourself.
She did deserve it.
Yeah, she did. She worked really, really hard. She's been putting up with our nonsense. And I think, she deserved that little vacation. 2 more episodes, another vacation, by the way. All right? Another thing I want to say, I want to say shout out to Jasmine Bagger, who's sitting right there. Thank you so much for an amazing article. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
It was a great article.
Beautifully written.
Nobody asked you out to clap, but okay. Anyway, that's how you know it's genuine. Unlike our bullshit.
It happens by itself.
No, seriously, thank you for all that amazing work. Seriously, I didn't know it was going to be a page. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know it was going to be a full page. But thank you for the push.
A very pleasant surprise, honestly.
Seriously, honestly. Oh, well, we appreciate you. Hi, guys.
Hey.
What's happening?
How's it going?
It's been a minute. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Doing well?
We're great.
All right, it's good to hear. You got anything to say, everybody?
One more
Please.
thank you. Thank you to everybody who showed up. Once again.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I always forget y'all.
Y'all are important.
You know why? Because you're family. No one cares about family.
No, we
See, that's why.
care and appreciate y'all. So thank you. And thank you to our new guest, Gaida. Hi, Gaida.
Hey, welcome, Pastor Kabsa. It's your boy Aden. What's happening? Episode 153.
Way to jump the gun. Well done. Well done.
Let's go. So, everybody, welcome to Biennale. I'd like to give a special shout out to Biennale for having us again. Last week, they were like, yo, this is enough. But now they're like, okay, come back. Let's more. And thank everybody for joining us. We appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to our tens and tens of listeners. Shout out to tens and tens of viewers. Shout out to Good Intentions, to Entitled, to Cali B, to everybody that's in front of us, too. I'm not going to say your name. Anyway, today we have a special guest. And I am really, really, when Diriyah told me, yo, she said yes, I was like, okay, now it's time to go to war. Go to our happy place.
I knew it.
Today we have a special guest. Shamsi, who's our special guest?
Miss Gaida AlMogren. Welcome. Miss Cultural Crossroads.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Architect, design student, artist. What else? I don't think I can categorize you.
I have so many hats.
You actually do, and that's one of the things that I'm happy to have you here and talk about. The fact that I can't really put a label on you. So what do you call yourself? That's the first question I have, actually.
I do not. I cannot call myself anything. I mean, I'm just a creative. Maybe we could say that.
That's a good start always.
I'm a blob. If you try to fit me in a frame, I'll just seep through the edges. I want to be it all. So
you are water that holds its shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever you need, if something I'm providing and it gives you happiness, then that's what I am. Hopefully.
Before we get to Culture Crossroads, I want to ask you about your amazing background. So you studied here, you went abroad. Give us a little brief for the people who do not know you. Because everyone knows you as Culture Crossroads. Only very few people know exactly who you are.
So I grew up in the East Coast, Eastern Province, East Coast. That's where I studied my undergrad in interior architecture. Then I went to San Francisco where I had my MFA in architecture. Then moved to LA and worked for a while. Then started freelancing, doing projects all over the world. Then we moved to Paris. There I started redesigning expat apartments and helping them with their art collections. And
Expat apartments.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because when I first moved there, I didn't speak French. And I thought I can get it from the streets.
Yeah.
But no.
That's not how French works.
No. I had to go back to school.
You
and-
need a teacher for that.
Yeah.
Or
I went to
two.
the Alliance Française and I finished all the levels so I could talk to people.
Was that pronounced correctly?
Exactly.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yes, Shamsi.
Oh, you speak French as well.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't. He speaks 3 words, but he tells everybody he does.
Very terribly. Very terribly.
It's just very terrible.
Yes.
He doesn't.
Terribly.
I'm telling you, he
Hijack
doesn't.
this.
Please do. We want to see this.
I
that
welcome
one
this.
day.
I welcome this.
But I'll feel
proposition.
outclassed at some point.
You'll feel outcast. And in 2 seconds, you'll be outcast.
Very quickly.
So, all right. Friends,
And so-
apartments.
Yeah, and so then that's when I started working with art selection to help, and I carried that on even here. That I'm a co-founder of an architectural consultancy firm, And we help people with their art selection as well.
Have you always been interested in art, or did it start off with architecture and then the love for art?
No,
developed?
I've always been attracted to this aesthetic of art, and I've been surrounded by creatives and artists, and during my education, I've studied art history and the theory of art and criticism, and
so it's always something you were attracted to.
Yes, but when it really started was when Biennale Foundation invited us to be part of her project, I Am.
Okay. When was this?
2006, I think.
Okay.
So her project was to talk about what jobs are suitable for women. And she heard that phrase where we're going to find jobs that are suitable for women. And she looked around in her friend group and neighbors and family, and she found that a lot of us do jobs that during that time were not thought of as suitable for women. There was an engineer, and there was a computer engineer and petroleum engineer and an architect and a doctor. And so she created this photo series of I Am to open this dialogue of questioning what is a job. And so she took us into her studio and took pictures of us, each one representing her own career and job. And being part of an art piece touched me so deeply, because I felt like I'm not just appreciating art, I'm being part of it. And then she carried on doing several participatory projects. My Name, where it's about women not being able to use their names. She's always Khalid or someone.
Yeah.
And so we all came in together, and we we were part of that project. And then the Tree of Guardians that was shown in the Biennale and suspended together. And so each one of those projects, we were part of it. And that's what made art so close to us. It wasn't something that we looked at, we heard the stories behind, but we were part of it. And just watching people in the Biennale coming in and pointing at the drawings that they did as part of that, everyone felt that they were part of that piece, that piece actually belonged to them versus belonging only to the artist. From that moment, I started relating to art differently. And thank you, Biennale.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to Biennale.
Indeed.
And we're also available in case you want.
I don't think anybody wants to make this art, Adil.
Yes.
I don't think that's okay.
If you need trash in your art, I know where you can find 3.
Moving back after my experience abroad, I felt like I was very hungry for Saudi art. I have my small collection. So I started collecting from, at first was women artists, and then it grew to like Saudi art in general and regional art now. But these artists opened their homes and studios and sat with me, told me their stories. And I feel I was more in love with the stories. So each piece that I acquired was more about the story or the relationship that I've created with the artist more than the piece itself. And so every time I look at that piece at home, it brings me back to that
connection,
yes.
to that story, to that relationship.
And so I wanted to document that relationship and the stories they have. And I don't only feel that it's their story, it's our story as well. It reflects our experiences without them knowing. We have like, he'd be telling me the story that happened to him, and I would want to say, me too.
Like I can feel you.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah, or I know someone that felt that way. And so so that's how
Cultural Crossroads, began. It seems.
Yeah, well, there's another story for that.
No, but hold on. That's like an amazing feeling. Like look, we love Biennale not just because of the art of everything it has. What made us love it more is because of Diriyah. I don't know where Diriyah is, but she's somewhere. Well, because Diriyah is very close to us, and we know how much she loved this place. So when we came here, we felt like it was our place because we were like huge supporters of her.
Yeah.
So all the art pieces that were here, we felt like it was also our pieces, and like we had to defend it ourselves.
Yeah.
True.
But being part of it, like being part of the process, is just something so beautiful.
It is. It is.
And I want to tell Biennale, if the next one we are not part of the process, I swear to God,
Nothing's gonna happen.
No, something's gonna happen. You're not gonna care. But seriously, like the whole process, was the process what made you feel like that this is your place, or was it just the people themselves and how much passionate they were about the process?
I think it's more of the passion. I think just seeing how much energy and love they're putting into it. To me, that makes my eyes sparkle. That's where the connections happen. So yes.
I respect people who are so passionate. We had you today because, Turks is an architect.
Yeah.
But you can say he's very bad.
True.
And we're hoping by the end of this interview,
This
he'll be a better human being.
a one-to-one masterclass, to be honest. Yeah. So
Because I see Turks is the same thing. Like I recognize that Turks, while he was studying architecture, how good he was. I think your project, what was your graduation project?
you never said that, Tayyib. That would have helped so much if you said it at the time.
Let's go back. Back then, it was pure hate.
True.
It was on
True.
purpose.
Kept you alive.
It kept you alive.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But now it's time to give you the appreciation.
Habib, I guess so.
But now he's trash. He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
good.
yeah,
like
yeah,
we had hope back then.
This is the appreciation that I get. Yeah.
But same thing with him. Like, even though he was an architect, by the way, I didn't know he was studying architecture till he graduated.
True.
I had no clue.
True. Yeah.
But you can see that he loved certain things and he saw, because Turks was the only one between all of us that loved any form of art, whether it was movies, music, design, whatever it is. He was the guy that said, "Oh, do you know this guy? This guy is 1, 2, 3." So you feel like you care about that because of the passion that he has.
Because as a designer, I think that you do look at any form of art from a different perspective.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
sometimes it's from this perspective of the artists themselves.
Exactly.
And getting that, I mean, they don't understand, but okay, it is a cult being an architect. That's not let's not shy away from that. Yeah. But everyone knows. Every architect boasts about that. Like non-architects don't understand. And we all say it. But there is something that you notice after you get immersed in the design world.
It
after
does.
studying it.
Yeah. And the way we look at things is different. Doesn't mean it's better. Could be worse.
That is better.
No,
Sorry.
no, because we have more attention to detail.
Yes.
Exactly. That's why it's
Yeah.
better.
I enjoy the small things more than the bigger picture, because these many small things are what create that big picture.
True.
And a lot of times when I cover something, people would tell me, "Oh, I didn't see that. How did you notice that?" Or the person who created was like, "That's what I had in mind, and you saw it." And that gives me pleasure beyond anything else that I could be doing. And
Well, Culture Crossroads was basically like for us, like when we were abroad, like it was the place that was close to home. Because we find out about things that are happening through you.
oh, that's
Like we like, it already happened. Okay, bye. We already missed it. Like, because you take such great images and also you document it properly.
And you cover the story as well.
You cover the story. Even if you get us the right information for us to like really care about it. For example, the roundabout that just won an award in Khobar. I didn't know it existed. I lived in Khobar my entire life. Okay, I've never seen that roundabout. But again, thanks to you and the way that you cover it, you're showing us all these amazing things that we have locally. Because Saudi art as a whole thing is still fresh.
very fresh.
People will say, yeah, no, art has been here. It's rooted into our history, into our culture, into our religion. I agree with all of that. But as art being respected for it being art, I think it's still like really, really new. And we're still getting people to fall in love with it.
Exactly. I think it's grassroots. It's like untouched.
True.
And that's what makes it delicious now, because it's so raw and full of emotions, and it's not commercialized. And these artists want to say something, and they want to be heard, and they have these ideas that to share. And what I love with all of these new festivals is that it's open to everyone, and that made people who are not interested in art interested.
Yeah.
They come and visit. Before, nobody would look. Not nobody, but in general,
interest was-
the
the
public,
interest
the
was
general
much lower.
public.
Now
would
they're
not look.
exposed to it, so they do come and they do
They
look,
come.
and they're getting
Families
educated
with
about
kids
it.
and
Yeah,
people who do not know who this artist is, they're still there.
especially
they're
the
looking.
kids. Especially thinking about like people wouldn't go to see art back in the day because it wasn't available for everyone. Let's say. But now it's in your face. So the families are going to that, and the kids are getting exposed to it. Kids didn't get exposed to it because the families weren't interested back
Exactly.
then.
True.
Even though the families are not interested now, it's still in the kids' face. They get exposed to it.
But part of it is
But-
also you don't even have to go to it because it's coming to you now.
Yeah.
Like when I'm thinking of the festivals that have happened over the past year in Riyadh, from Noor al-Riyadh to Mir al-Dakhil before that, it's public places with art pieces belonging there for the public to be exposed to them. So having that element as well changes I think the equation. It makes the art much more attractive to people when you know, hey, there's this thing going on and it has multiple different locations. Let's go see what's there. Let's go see what's here.
An example is the piece that was in Wadi Namar. It's
Exactly.
a light piece. People picnic there every weekend. Suddenly, there was this art piece, and children were interested. They were going around. People were sitting around it.
Yeah.
And that's where kind of that art piece invaded their space. And so they were forced to kind of interact with it, look at it, understand it or not.
Think
and there was the
about it,
explanation
yeah.
there. And there was these adorable, helpful people trying to
Yeah.
explain it to everyone.
مساكين في وسط الحر.
But they were wonderful, so helpful, and so patient.
Yeah.
Was Wadi Namar the big disco ball?
It's
No,
the
no,
moon.
no, no,
There was
no.
the moon.
The moon. It was the
It was
moon.
the
Yes,
moon.
it was the moon.
No,
No.
not the big moon. We're talking about the
one
one
on
on the water.
Oh, the one on the water.
I
Okay, yeah.
love that
Listen
one.
to the architect.
Yes.
please.
See, okay.
Who drove you there?
I did.
Actually, yeah, Chelsea drove us there.
Both of you there.
But
That was the beautiful thing about Noor Riyadh. When we wanted to cover it, we had not only the privilege of viewing all of it or the majority of it,
yeah.
but it was the experience of running around Riyadh
Exactly.
to see it.
Exactly.
It was like a
And-
treasure hunt.
And
It
this
is.
was, and
It
not just
really
that,
is,
it's
yeah.
discovering the new. Like I've never been to Wadi Mar. I live in the east side of the city. Like I have no idea that thing is like what, And when we actually got there, we saw everybody sitting around, and we loved it because we realized that this was a place, this was a public space that's always active, and now the art has come to it.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful and well kept, and there were ducks and stuff. I mean,
There were
I was
ducks.
glad.
The ducks were my favorite part. That's why I loved that art piece, because the ducks embraced it and it became a part of the place. Marra. I really loved
We need to
it.
explain to people that we are talking about Riyadh and we're talking about water.
Yes,
Yes.
water.
That
ducks,
also shocked
Riyadh.
us, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful part about Noor Riyadh. It made us like you just said it. And oh shit, this place exists. I didn't know. And yeah, that
And in
was
true Riyadh fashion, we never went back again.
true.
Of course, but we know it's there.
now. We know it exists.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For the next Noor Riyadh.
Yes.
We're looking forward to the next Noor Riyadh.
One day we might come back to it.
No, but seriously, like with all that's happening, I never got to take your opinion on things because I always see you post. Like you post the good. I'm not gonna say the bad. I think
Yeah, but
you,
true. I do not put my opinion.
Yes, you don't put your
I
opinion.
put my express. Sometimes I put how it made me feel,
Yeah.
but I don't want to impose my taste. Some people like specific things, so
This is why we respect it so much because it's that you're allowing us to make our
It's
decisions.
subjective.
yes.
You know, you're not telling us. You're not trying to be the face of the whole scene. You're trying to say, "Hey, idiot, look at this. Read what it says. I hope you enjoy it." You know, and that's the beautiful thing about it.
And if you don't want to read it, it's okay. Just look at the images. And if
Yeah,
you don't want,
yeah.
Skip that day.
No,
I
they're
mean,
pretty good
it's-
images. They should look
Yeah,
at
the images are amazing. Yeah, the images are
Thank you.
amazing. No, seriously, the
Yeah.
images are amazing.
Like you do take your time to actually show something in the right way, and I appreciate that. And it's not just the art that goes on; it's the architecture as well. And I'm guessing that's your
That's
main
my passion.
focus.
Yeah, but I try not to be for architecture versus the other sides of culture. I try to cover all kinds of culture, like a little bit of fashion, a little bit of like food. But of course, it tends to be more architecture and art because that's my passion.
Say it. Say it loud. Say it loud.
Do you feel now that, like, considering that you have your own consultancy, do you feel that we as a people, as a society, are trying to move beyond the traditional forms of architecture that we had, like the houses that we grew up in.
Oh, I hope.
Do you
I
feel
hope.
like that's actually starting to happen?
Yeah, but there's a struggle.
What's the
Where
struggle?
people tend to over decorate and they're like, yeah, but this is empty. Why don't you give us something here?
Yeah.
No, it's supposed to be empty. Yeah. So
People forget it's a home.
yeah. No,
supposed
they
to be
want
a
it to be a wedding dress with all the sparkles and all the kesh and all the yeah.
But it's shiny.
But it's shiny.
But we are changing. Look, if you're talking about architecture, and alhamdulillah, now we are way better than before. Like, as a person who's been looking at houses for the last like 4 or 5 years, oh my God, thank God.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
We're
Before,
getting
it
there.
was a tube. It was literally a tube with rooms sticking out the side of it.
Exactly.
Like a
Yes.
caterpillar.
Yes. Yeah.
That's all it was.
We loved hallways. We loved doors.
We love doors.
Yeah. We really love
Doors
doors.
are great.
Yes.
You can close them, you can open it.
Yeah.
Remember
You
that-
never open them. You
remember-
never. Oh yeah. Keep them
Shamsi
closed.
had an apartment that once you enter the apartment, it's a kitchen with an open living room, and then the little hallway takes you to the bedroom. And then while you're walking, there's
Space.
a huge space for no reason.
No, so it wasn't huge. It was like 2 by 2. It's a cell. So if you put bars, it is a cell.
In the middle of
First
the
off,
hallway.
let's not forget you were mixing cement over there.
For some
True,
reason.
true,
For our
true,
project.
True, yes.
Okay.
It was my DIY space. True.
Yeah, sure,
Remember
sure.
that? Yeah.
Shamsi wasn't there. Now he's just figuring out. Yes.
I saw the cement drops later on.
No, but before, the architecture was awful.
Yeah.
To all of our real estate friends, we do mean it.
We see.
And we have a lot of them. We have a lot of them. No, seriously, it was awful. You can, any house you go to, Ketma. I remember I had an apartment that you open the door, there's a door in front of you. There's no reason for that door.
Extra privacy.
From who? From myself? It takes you inside the other house.
قاعد يشوفك من برا.
No. Right now, I think people are getting way better, more tasteful. Now we're getting sunrooms.
And what I love, people are making their living spaces smaller.
Yes.
That's true.
No more wasted space.
Exactly.
And we do not really need all of that wasted
That's
space.
that's the whole issue with the how houses were back in the day. I mean, the ground floor was not for living. The ground
Exactly.
floor was for like get-togethers,
Receiving guests.
like
and-
receiving
yeah.
guests. Yeah, and that happens now. What, like once, twice a year, 3
No.
times a year?
No, people just go out
Exactly.
to meet their friends. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can-
because back then we had nowhere to go out. We're going to go. Restaurants?
Yeah.
خلصنا في
True.
أسبوع.
True. Right. Yeah.
True.
But now, like, the house has more meaning
Exactly.
compared to before.
Yeah.
Now, I love the fact that you come in that there's no doors now. You see from the front door all the way to the garden and the swimming pool.
True.
Yeah, that's-
Thank God people like swimming pools now.
Mm-hmm.
But some people are forcing swimming pools into their apartments, which is, I do not understand. And their little tiny houses. You don't need to have a pool,
Yeah.
okay? You don't need to. A garden is better.
It's a fountain with nothing. sprayed.
Exactly.
It's not even a fountain. I wish it was a fountain. It's not even a fountain. It's actually a whole pool. Anyway, I've seen some nasty houses.
He's been looking at houses a lot.
I can tell.
It's been taking over his mind.
I do more commercial buildings and
I'll ask you a question. It's subjective, but I always ask. What do you think is the perfect size for a home for a family? Doesn't matter.
Shtibin.
Because I'll tell you the fight. I look for 1,000 above. And no one wants to accept me for my 1,000 above. They think I'm being too much. But I feel like 1,000 is great space for a whole home for a whole family.
If you're never going to move after you have kids and
That's true. Yes, it's going to be a home.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better
Yeah, that's
Umar,
good.
quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
But
Yeah.
it's big.
Really?
Yeah, you can do it smaller.
Yeah. 1,000 is. I'm gonna.
You got the answer you weren't looking
Alright.
for. You got it.
I came here with full support for you and
Listen.
everything, but now you've been turning against me for the last 3 minutes.
What did I do? It's the perfect size
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. See, I was
with
right.
no doors and no
Take
pool.
it to the bank.
You want the pool?
But seriously, when we go back to culture crossroads, because when I was abroad, it was my only window to what's happening here. And the question I always wanted to ask you, what sparked that passion to actually look at Saudi art and Saudi design?
So when I was living in France, my friends started crying because I was going to move to Saudi, and my French friends,
Okay.
which you think
That's.
people have TVs and they have internet and they know that it's. And they were like, "No, you're going to be miserable." There's a,
Oh.
Okay. They weren't crying because you're leaving.
okay,
Not 'cause
they
you're
were
going
going to miss
Saudi.
me. I have to say,
okay.
but
That wasn't
again,
the focus.
but they were worried about me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when I first started was to show them that it's happening here, and we have things, and we do things, and we appreciate things, and they've always thought it wasn't up to their standards. And I'm like, look at this. If you come and visit, you'll like it. And actually, they want to visit now. And so that's when I first started. And when I moved here, I moved into a compound surrounded by foreigners who stay in their bubble and complain that there's nothing to do. So I'm like, no, I'll show you what to do. There's this, there's that. And I kept on just to help them come out. And the feedback was wonderful. And actually, they asked me to open my account public because they wanted to share it with their friends and other people. And
that's cool.
So in the beginning, it was for foreigners, but then I got more Saudi and local followers than maybe foreigners. And I made so many friends through this account that I share things in common that maybe my other friends don't like doing, or so.
No, but you do share your point of view in terms of art, in terms of the architecture, in terms of design overall. So it is, for somebody who's not really involved in what's going on, it is very illuminating.
I do a lot of research. A lot of research. I nerd out. I mean,
it shows.
Yeah, I try.
It shows the effort that you put into it. You know,
thank you.
Like it's comprehensive. It's you're telling me the story of whatever it is, whether it's
not only that, look at something that's beautiful, because you can see something that's like out of this world, but if you don't get the right angle and the right picture of it, and you present it in the right way, it could kill it. And you do a great job of showing us what's available. Like a lot of times we'll look at it like, yo, this is not here. There's no way. Like al-ula. Al-ula should not exist, let's be honest. It should not exist. It looks like a fairy tale. Every time you look at it, like we were there, and I'm looking at things, I'm like, oh, we missed all of that.
Oh.
It kills me like how many like great things that we just miss out on. And this is why like you're very, very important. Like, to be honest, not just to us. Like, forget us, we're not important. But like what you do is very important, because you would say yourself like, yo, I want to show the world, right? But even people here are hungry.
True.
And you're paving that way for us to say, yo, okay, no, we have great things over here. We should pay attention to what's going on.
You're raising the awareness.
Exactly, because if we don't pay attention, if we're not supporting it locally, then all your hard work and the hard work goes to nothing. And this is why we need to fire Diriyah and
No, I got a lot of messages from Saudi students abroad that asked me to turn this into a website, because they keep on sending their friends to check my account for places to go. And they're like, Instagram is not very practical. We cannot find like older posts that we would like to look at. And please just turn it into a website or something that is easier to navigate. So these comments make me so happy, because that means that my work is not to waste, that actually people are using it and there's a benefit at the end.
Definitely there's a benefit to it. And the fact that the benefit has shifted from the international to local focus shows you the hunger that we were just talking about here for art. The fact that people are now exposed to this when they weren't the way before, the fact that there is a support for it nowadays. Like we're talking here at the Biennale, the fact that we were able to enjoy the Biennale for all 3 months this year, it shows you just how much support for art now you can find nowadays in Saudi. Yeah. And you are part of that movement for sure.
Oh, thank you. I feel it's an ecosystem, and it needs us all. I mean, we need the artists, we need the I don't know, the Biennale, the Misk Art Institute, the Art Jamil,
this new face of Ministry of Culture.
Yeah.
We need that.
Oh, that's amazing. What they're doing.
No, it's ridiculous. Shout out to Labir Badr. It's amazing.
We're so grateful to everything. Seriously.
Like we've never had anything like this.
Mm-hmm. Like the engagement that we have now.
Anything like this we've never had. Exactly. And now it's not forced. It's just we got to the point like, yo, we don't have enough time to go see everything. It became like our jobs became an obstacle. In a way, Sure. Before you used to work, and the weekends you hang out with your cousins.
Yes.
Your friends.
Istiraha.
There you go. Exactly. Which still exists for all of us. We all have it.
In different ways and forms.
But it changed from that to للحكينا. I always ask the boys a question. The first Riyadh season, I wasn't here. I was in Australia. And I was asking them, I was like, how much do you have to pay? Because we're all in the same WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And I see the boys every weekend. They're out somewhere else. And I think Shamsi
came back to me. A lot. A lot.
I think Shamsi spent in one Riyadh season I'm sorry, Shamsi
blur
family.
that out.
X amount, X amount.
Yeah. You know, let's let it out. Let's let it out.
Yeah, how many zeros? How
I
many
think,
zeros? You say?
it was 5 zeros.
Yeah, okay. I know.
It was
There was
5
a lot of
zeros.
things going on.
Yeah.
It's worth it, though.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
When did you ever think you're going to spend the money locally, though?
Yeah.
Happily
Yeah.
to spend it locally.
And not just
Willingly.
that,
مو مخالفات.
Good
مو
quality.
مخالفات. Yeah.
and the range, exactly.
Yes.
The range of whether it's sporting or entertainment or theater or music, like
Yeah.
it did not stop.
Yes.
It for a good 6 months. And now we're getting to the point where you can start seeing that with art as well. Like now with Hey Jamil going on in Jeddah and the Biennale in Riyadh, you have entities that are willing to do things on a regular basis.
Exactly.
And for us as people, as consumers, as art lovers, it's beautiful to see.
And they're all making it available to everyone. They're free workshops, free talks, residencies, all of these things that artists like previous generations didn't have it. And I think the new generation of artists are so lucky.
That's true. Ammar is looking right now and saying, these guys sitting there complaining about art. I have to fight for my place. But seriously, it's like the same thing when we look at Neom and everything else. We always keep saying that. We're also arguing. We're saying, yo, like all this amazing thing is happening. I'm gonna watch my kids enjoy every single part of it. And you feel like you're missing out.
Yeah.
At a time when you were like, nothing's gonna change. And then all of a sudden you're like, am I left behind?
I know we're all like links in that chain. So
True.
let's all enjoy it together.
True.
نخليها لهم.
But I love how you put that links in
That's
that
true.
chain.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying we are the connection between the past and the future.
Yes.
Because we are able to experience. You've been through the time where art, wasn't really as supported as it was today.
Exactly.
And you went abroad. You did what you did, and then you came back and you found a completely different scene.
I'm enjoying it to the max. I'm just grateful that it happened in my lifetime. That I was
That's true.
able to see it and enjoy it. Okay, I'm enjoying it differently than if I was an art student but enjoying it still.
Like when you came back, what did you feel like the biggest change was in terms of everything that was going on for you, from your point of view?
It's this renaissance of everything in every aspect. It's not just the art. I mean, all culture, even in architecture now with the new mithaq. I don't know, everything. Women driving.
That was a big one.
Don't you feel like, thanks to all of this, that adults are becoming young again?
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
True.
I can't talk to these two losers because they don't understand.
We're young.
Because we don't know adults.
No. It's because y'all can
All I
get your
know
life
is
together.
careless.
That's why. Y'all children. I still have to hold hands. But I'm looking at parents. Parents are becoming young again. They're going out more. They're doing more stuff than they ever did before. That is way bigger than anything else.
And it changed the family dynamics.
Yes, because
It did.
I see this. Shout out to all my cousins and uncles. I apologize from now. Okay, it's okay. Y'all don't like me. It's like we're good. So when I first came in, I was looking at my uncles and looking at everybody. My cousins were like their parents. They were adults early on in their lives. Married in his 20s, kids, already has a steady job and just waiting until retirement and death. And then I look right now, the adults are feeling younger, wanting to go out, wanting to travel, wanting to do things.
Don't want
And
to
now
miss anything.
You see the kids doing the same exact thing. So you feel like as a society, we're all like getting younger and hopefully healthier. But at heart, I feel like it's way better
Definitely
than before.
healthier with all of these gyms and now the running path or whatever it's going to
Oh, yeah,
happen.
the one that's
Sports track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sports track. And so definitely healthier as well because you see these couples walk at night. You never saw that many people walking and exercising.
That's true.
So it's a change in everything. Change in the way the culture, the people act, the Saudis. So
That term is changing now.
What?
Saudis.
What it used to mean.
Because before, when you say Saudis, you kind of have a picture in your head.
Yeah.
Now you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. You cannot box us anymore. Because none of us are.
No, it's a more colorful picture.
we're all becoming that blob that I talked about in the beginning.
It's true.
We're all becoming like that.
Yeah,
basically.
we're seeping out.
Yes, and you're looking at traditions not being lost, but things are added to traditions, or the tradition itself
It's flourishing.
is flourishing in a better way than it
Yeah.
was before.
Yeah.
You know, When was the last time you heard the word
Don't tell that to anyone above like 60 to be honest, please. Yeah.
No, there's no one above. Okay, never mind. Yes, I remember.
They're watching. They're watching.
Yeah. But no, that's look. Okay, maybe your family. I'm joking.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, his father.
No, we have a lot of back in my day people.
No, but listen, like your father. Your
He is
father was
amazing.
always young as
He's
heart.
amazing. Yeah, true.
You know,
True. Yeah.
Shamsi's dad doesn't care about him.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I apologize. Mama Shamsi, I apologize. But still, you don't care about it right now. But like, I look at my own parents also. Like, I come from a military family. So, you know, once retirement hits, it's done. You know, the house is the place. It's everything.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at my parents. They're hanging out in Bahrain on the weekends. They're out with my little sisters, like at the mall, just shopping, walking around. I'm like, all right. I remember when I asked y'all to go out, you kicked me out the house. You want to go out? You go out. But now, like, it is amazing. No, seriously. Like, I never really took the time to sit down. I'm just realizing this right now, by the way, thanks to you. I never had like the chance to really look at this, but it's true. Like, all our adult friends are becoming young. Before, you can barely have a conversation with an adult.
True.
True.
You see what I mean?
True.
You can't have
The
a
generation
conversation
gap was so big, and now that gap is closing in.
There's more spaces to connect, I feel now.
No, because they need us and we need them now.
Yeah,
Technology is coming in.
that's one point.
I
as
just
well.
told you about my granddad asking me about Apple Pay. That was funny. Yeah.
No, but in terms of even the public spaces and the spaces of engagement, but before, as the fact that the kids would go out to the istiraha or to cruise or go to a restaurant and the adults would stay at home, there's nothing to really discuss. But nowadays, having all of these different activities that people are able to engage in together allows that to happen, that exchange of information. The fact that I am able to bring my mom here and say, walk around and just, admire and watch the artworks and just have those discussions, that was an experience that I was never able to have before, And it is big enough and public enough for it to be open for everybody, which is the beautiful thing about it.
It is beautiful. No, seriously. I just could let's
Let's ponder on this thought for a second.
I swear to God, I never realized
it
right now. Like, right now, I'm looking at because I'm thinking about the first day of opening of Biennale. When all of us were here. And the weeks after, when you saw like these families coming in, and we used to ask Dalia all the time. Dalia would tell us, she was like, "Yo, like there's actual families coming here together, looking around and enjoying it, and then like sitting having a conversation." When did you ever think you have a conversation with your mom about art?
Right?
We are giving you credit here because you have exposed
seriously,
this.
like this.
Yes.
It's still about me?
Because
We're having a conversation among ourselves about you. Don't worry about it. You're not here.
If we're keeping Adil busy and he's not picking on me, we're good. We're
I told you. I'm not going to pick at you. I'm an admirer. I admire your great work.
But that's what we love so much about what you do. The fact that you are able to show us all of this, the fact that this discussion is happening because
That
you
makes
put
me
it
happy.
out there. You do
Thank
put
you,
it out
Shamsi.
there.
That's true. Seriously,
you,
like,
guys.
your work is amazing. Like you see it as just, hey, I'm just showing you guys what's going on. But in reality, you're doing better than most people who are supposed to cover it
Exactly.
are doing.
Exactly. That's exactly.
No, that's seriously. Like you're doing it way, 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 way better than
I've
anybody
got
else.
a few comments that I love. I'm going to toot my own horn.
Please do.
Please do.
But when artists come to me and say, you've explained it better than I explained it.
Oh, that's amazing.
That to me,
Done. Job well done.
khalas.
Yeah.
Not commercial, it's human. I'm quoting here. I'm not saying that myself. Yeah.
No, but then you're doing it exactly the right way. You're engaging. You are building the bridge or the crossroads. We go back to full circle here.
So that's
the
where we
crossroads
go.
between the artist and what the artist wants to
my
express, and me, the consumer, the viewer, and what I'm trying to understand from this artwork.
Yeah.
Bravo, well done.
Seriously, yeah,
Merci, merci.
it's amazing.
Oh, come on, guys.
Seriously. No one asked you how to clap. But seriously, no, like thank you so much for everything. Seriously. Thank you for the amazing account. Thank you for being yourself. The first time we met you were just as amazing and as fun. That's why we're being nice
You
to
were.
you.
It was a great dinner. Thank you, Dalia, for inviting
yes.
us and feeding us.
It's always Dalia behind
It's always Dalia.
the magic.
We just gave you so much love, but you were sitting up there. Community. That's the word. But seriously, I can't thank you enough for all the great work that you're doing, to be honest. Because
Part of what you're doing as well is
we try.
connecting us with others.
We try.
Don't compare us to you.
It's actually the
Come
work
on.
that
No,
Dalia
no,
is
no,
doing.
no,
Let's
no,
be
no,
honest.
no, no.
Thank you, Dalia, for putting this all together. But seriously, like, I always want to tell you in real life how like thankful I am for everything that you do, because you're one of the best people to shed light on what's going on, and we have very few people here that do that. This is why we're very good friends with Jasmine. Jasmine does a great job of covering certain things that happen, and she likes doing things that are meaningful. And it's very rare, and you said it. If we don't work on it, and you don't work on it, and Jasmine and Good Intentions and Ahmad and everybody, if we're not all in this together, helping it grow, then we're just gonna lose it.
Yeah, we cannot compete on the same spots. We have to be all complementing each other.
Exactly.
To
Which
grow.
is still new to a lot of people also.
Yeah.
I mean, let's all be honest. Also, the art scene still needs education. You know? And that's something that come with time. But as long as everybody cares about it, I think everybody will take care of it.
But I think there's a cumulative struggle that has been had, and a cumulative, like a sigh of relief. You know, when the entire scene became as alive as it is right now, everyone's thankful for it, and everyone's hungry. Everyone's pushing forward.
Yes.
Together. Yeah.
One success is everyone's success. So that's
Amen.
it's representing Saudi, I guess.
Amen.
Definitely. I was curious about one thing. You mentioned that you became, when Manal Dawayan reached out to you and you became part of her art. Have you ever done art of your own, other outside of architecture, let's say?
Architecture is not
Yes,
art.
but it's hidden.
I'm going to disagree.
Sculptures, for example.
Yes,
or-
a little
sculptures.
What do you mean it's hidden?
They're not ready to see the sun.
Okay.
Of course, when you're surrounded by all of this creativity and art, you get inspired, you get ideas of your own. And I've been around, I've seen so many things, and so
You've been
I
inspired.
do create things. I do create pieces of furniture with deep concepts behind them that nobody knows the story.
That's my
That's
shit.
exactly where I wanted to go.
Okay, I love that. I
So
really
it's
love
like,
that.
this one reflects the psychology of it, and nobody can tell. It's just a table. Calm down. But to me, it. So yes, I do. I do feel that they're sculptures, even though they're
Functional sculptures.
functional sculptures.
Yes.
And that's why I'm always questioning where does design end and where does art start, and
That's a
do
very
we
good question.
really have to
Yeah.
define that? I mean, I do call that table a piece of art, and come and tell me it's not, and
And
let's have this dialogue.
Convince me.
And I'll tell you with the psychology of the sitting and the table.
Exactly.
No, but it's a great thing when I don't think you should be able to separate it, because at the end of the day, if you're designing this as a piece of art, then functionally it is. You know, it must have at the end of the day a functional. You need to be able to sit on it. Yes, true. It needs to be comfortable. Yes or no. But it is art, whether people see it or not. So I don't think there should be a line between design and art. I think the line.
But again,
No,
does art have concepts behind it? Does it always have to have a goal, or does it have to always talk about a community issue or something deep in the artist, or is art just beauty? And that's why people do not consider these pieces as art, because they're like, what is it talking about exactly? What does it?
That's about like art having a message. Should art
Yes.
have a message?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think art usually does have a message, but here I think we're veering into
My
aesthetic.
table does have a message.
There you go. If it does have a message, then you should tell me that story. I'd want to hear that
Killing
story.
me.
But yeah,
But it's functional also.
yeah, it's
It
functional.
literally has a message. If you flip it, it just says something.
This is my table. Appreciate it.
One of one, made in Saudi.
Yes. لا يكثر.
See, Turkey, you can actually design your own.
True. I'm kind of
Things.
like
We
can
that.
collaborate.
Definitely.
Yes, I would
Please
like
do.
to see that mixing room, cement mix.
Oh yes,
that's long gone. That's-
Oh, that's
long
gone?
Yeah, there was a cat, there
I
was
was
a
also
hamster.
making a table, by the way. I'm just letting you know right now. Yeah,
Did
it
you
have a
make a
message?
table?
I did make a table.
Where is it
That
now?
was the idea.
It's
It was awful.
It was crooked, right?
It was him and Mishad.
Yes, it was.
I know.
It
Why?
had steel pipes and concrete in it, and I loved it. And I don't care about your opinion
Why?
because it has no, never.
Keep in mind, this
They
was
got
in my
inspired by Pinterest.
Yeah, well,
really?
no. Misha got inspired by it. He
Yes.
needed an architect
Yes.
to build his own dream, and that
Exactly.
was there. Yeah,
And it failed.
And this is how we do things.
Yes.
Exactly.
And this is the honest truth.
As you can
Loving
see.
it.
Question I have to ask, like to any architect I meet, kind of. Your thoughts on Zaha Hadid? Is she an architect or an artist?
Meet me after the.
Oh, okay. We don't want to keep that on the record. Okay, but I see your answer right there. I heard it.
Diriyah, give us an answer out loud. Artist?
With an artist.
All day?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Shamsi?
I would say artist.
He's not an
Definitely.
architect. Why would he have a...
But when you say that, that means that architects need to do the square cookie cutter
They
buildings.
don't need to.
No,
they
it's
don't
not.
need to. I didn't say need.
So if we break out of that form, then we become artists, not architects.
It's not about that. I feel like if I'm very like
Straightforward.
to me architecture starts with function and then you build around it. Yeah.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, and I believe like her designs are more of a sculpture.
Yes.
I care about the
Wasted
form of the
space
building,
and so that
and then
it's not
I fit the
architecture, then
function into it, and like okay, this is supposed to be what, a school. Okay, I'll make it into a school, and that's why I lean towards artists more than architect with
Yes.
Hadid.
But see, you bring an interesting point. Thanks
again,
to Dalia, I was going through your biography, and one of the things that she mentioned is, while you were in Paris, you would design spaces around art pieces.
Oh, yes.
How exactly does that work? Because that's fascinating to me, by the way.
Yes. I mean, we collect the art pieces and they dictate where they should be placed and how.
Like the form of the space.
Yes, the form of the space, the colors, the surrounding. Because we usually use art in interior space as decorative elements. Afterthought, slap, bring a print, it's okay, we slap it. So if you enjoy collecting, I hate putting art collections in storages. Art is meant to be enjoyed. You need to hang it all over your house. You should see my walls. There's no space.
You should see Nawaf's, with all the art that he has, honestly.
I don't want to mention it.
He's right there. Yeah.
He has his dad has a warehouse
With
of art.
Stash.
MashaAllah.
Okay? And then there's a special room inside.
And vaults with keys.
And once you get inside that special room, there's another special room.
No, Nawaf, I need to go and see
Yes.
that. Where is Nawaf?
No,
Right
no,
here.
it's right
I'm not joking. And then inside that room, there's also another small room
MashaAllah.
of like his special art. No, his dad is an amazing art collector.
Amen.
And he's
Amen.
lucky enough to have like a lot of beautiful art, So that's
No, if it has its own rooms, that's something else. But if
Labels,
you have 5 pieces and you
everything,
hide
labels,
them.
stands, like everything is like proper.
Wow.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
yes, indeed.
I worked really hard on not doing it.
So how would
yes.
you approach that? How would you
So
decide?
the art piece inspired us and we would make the space around it. So
The art piece dictates.
yes, it could be a piece that wants round the room, which I
That's what
don't
it
usually
says to
do.
you, yeah.
But if it wants it, then it gets it.
Yeah,
Okay.
the art deserves it.
Yes.
Have you brought that back here with you when you came back?
Yes, but people here fight you for that.
They don't listen. They don't listen as well as you do to the arts.
When it comes to art and people's homes,
Yes.
it's still fresh here.
Yes.
It's about giving it the space, not what fits here. Because it's usually هذا فاضي عبي, which is my motto, by the way.
Yeah,
But we're
it's a
getting
Saudi
there.
map.
We're getting there. I met some interesting people that do like to give respect to their pieces.
And that's where you come in. You advise them on how to approach, let's say, the space, or how to.
I give suggestions, and then it's their
It's
space.
up to them. It's up to
Yes.
them whether they take it or
Yeah.
not. And they better take them. That's what I was saying.
Well, we started, you just said respect a second ago. So we're going to keep being respectful and end this podcast before we turn this into a roast.
We tried so hard, by the way. I'm not sure if it's.
مرة ماسكين نفسنا because we really like you.
Thank
So
you.
we're trying to be very, very
I
nice.
felt the respect. Thank you.
Yeah, so we did our best, but we gave you too much. All right? 50 minutes of respect
we
is
gotta
already
take
too
it
much.
off.
We need to end this real quick so we can talk to you later on. Anyway, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Really do.
Everybody, Instagram, Cultural Crossroads, do not miss it. If you want to know what's going on in this world, especially here, it's the only place.
Amen.
There are other places that are getting angry right now, but who cares?
This is the one we're focusing on.
This is the one we focus on. This is what we care about, okay? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
Aida.
guys.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Biennale. Thank you, Diriyah. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And we out?
And we're out.
We out. Thank you so
Peace.
much.
Ciao.
Peace.
Bye.
Oh, now you want to clap. Oh, I see ya. I see ya.
ما قصروا والله ما قصروا.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.